Hi everyone, today I'll be talking about Bloom syndrome. It's a rare genetic disorder. I'll be explaining how often it happens, what it does to the body, how it's passed down, what gene is involved, treatments, and other things. What's its origin, you might ask? Well, Bloom syndrome was originally described in 1954 by a man named David Bloom. It's a disorder where cells have trouble fixing their DNA, so cells get broken more easily and people have a higher chance of getting cancer. Now, for those who can get it, well, anyone can catch Bloom syndrome. It affects both males and females. It's presented at birth and doesn't usually show up later in your life. If you're asking how common it is, well, actually Bloom syndrome is very rare. There's only a few hundred cases confirmed in the world records. Only about 294 cases are reported in the Bloom syndrome registry, and it's sort of unknown to most. In the general population, well, the exact number is well unknown. But in people whose families came from Eastern Europe, well, the condition is more common. Estimated about 1 in 48,000 births in that group. Carrier rates in that group are about 1 in 100. Now, what does Bloom syndrome look like? Well, actually, Bloom syndrome usually shows at an early time in your life. Common things doctors see are very short height and small size at birth. Now, another thing could be a red butterfly-shaped rash on their face after sun exposure. Getting more infections because often people with Bloom syndrome have a weaker immune system. Now, they also have a higher chance of many types of cancer. And cancers often appear at younger ages than usual. Fertility problems usually affect the males, and sometimes early menopause can affect the females. Now, people with Bloom syndrome can also have lung problems due to chronic infections, as well as diabetes can come early as well. Life expectancy, it varies. Some people might develop cancer at a young age due to Bloom syndrome, and some studies report a median lifespan under 30 years old. Though this might vary with early cancer detection and the right care. Now, how is it inherited? Now, Bloom syndrome is autosomal recessive. Now, that means that one person needs 2 bad copies of a gene, one from each parent, to have the disorder. A person with only 1 bad copy is called a carrier, and usually healthy. Now, if both the parents are carriers, that means that their kid has a 25% chance of having Bloom syndrome. Then 25% chance the child is not a carrier, and 50% chance that your child is a carrier. Now, which gene is involved and where is it? The problem is in a gene called BLM. This is located on chromosome 15. Chromosome 15 is one of the 23 pairs of human chromosomes containing over 600 genes. The BLM gene is usually what fixes the DNA when it's damaged. Now, if we're talking the mutation type and how it causes problems, well, most cases happen because of a point mutation. In one group, the Eastern Europe families, almost all cases come from the small same mutation. Now, normally, the BLM protein helps unwind and repair DNA when the protein doesn't work. DNA breaks and chromosomes get mixed up. Broken DNA makes more cells likely to turn into cancer. And that's the reason why people with Bloom syndrome have a higher chance of getting cancer. Now, if we're talking treatment, well, doctors look at the symptoms and can confirm by genetic testing for changes in the BLM gene. If a doctor were to test for Bloom syndrome, they would take a blood sample or skin cells, and obviously they would check if the BLM gene has a mutation, and if it does, then that confirms the Bloom syndrome. There's multiple ways a doctor can test for Bloom syndrome. They could look at your chromosomes underneath the microscope and see if they're more broken than they should be. This is called chromosomal instability, which is another bad hint towards Bloom syndrome. But overall, out of all the tests, the BLM genetic test is the most accurate and most used out of them all. But if you want the simple answer, well, there's no cure. Checking for cancer early, treating infections fast, and protection from the sun are the best things you can really do. Regular cancer screenings are very important. Now, for the help, what I would do is I would look up Bloom Syndrome Foundation or the Bloom Syndrome Registry. Other places are Genetic and Rare Diseases Information Center, and Medline Plus are good places for info as well. Now, for ethical, social, and legal issues. Number 1, I would say, is privacy. Should insurance companies, employers, or schools be allowed to see someone's genetic results? Many people worry that they can be treated differently. Genetic discrimination as well. Knowing someone has a higher cancer risk could affect jobs or insurance if rules don't protect them. Family planning as well. Carriers might want to get tested before having kids, understanding the risk. Now, testing children is also a debate as well, because should parents test their kid when really there's no cure for it? Doctors can't cure it yet, but early care, cancer screenings, and support make a big difference for those people who have it.